Welcome to another podcast episode in another format. We are literally in a love seat.
We need to explain. So, if you are coming from my channel, my name is Indra, and welcome to the Shakti Awakener podcast. If you're coming from her channel, introduce yourself, my queen.
I'm Roxandra.
Louder, people can hear you.
I'm Roxandra, and my podcast is called Love Seat. And in normal terms, love seat apparently means a little couch that you can have a seat on.
And
And
be
we
the
are-
space of love and truth.
Yeah.
And this is what we are opening the space for today because we want to share with you some of the main problems and beliefs and shadows that we have seen in women who are on the path of attracting their dream partner, and how these shadows affect their relationships and their dating process, and basically what is stopping very successful women like us and like our clients from attracting their dream men, because we have been through this journey ourselves and we have seen this in our clients, and these are some main blocks that you for sure will feel inside of yourself, and through this video you will be able to overcome them. And we will also offer some dating advice for the women who are on the path of conscious dating and want to get the best out of their love life. So let's begin. Thank you for being here with us. How should we begin?
I want to say that all the women who are listening to this should receive this episode as a transmission. As you said, it's something that will transform them. Receive this as a free mentoring coaching session because you will get a taste of how it is to work with us. And of course, when you're working with us, you will get even more insights and even more tailored information for your own specific needs, because our gifts consist in channeling messages for other people, messages that are healing, that are revelatory. And we also see in your energy what you can work on, and we also see how we can best support you. So just receive this as a little taste, but of course, when we are working together, it's going to be even more crazy powerful.
Oh yeah. But you can feel all of these words like in your body as a shift of energy, because we will reveal some very powerful shadows in your psyche, in your subconscious, in your identity that you have formed about yourself that you don't even know that you hold, because you are ruling life as like from your ego, from your identity, from the stories from the past of how men treated you in the past, how your father was like with you in the past, how your father and your mother were together in relationship, and you're just running on that one pattern. But you don't realize that there is a whole nother reality that is available for you. And this is what we are rewiring in our work, like a whole new reality that you can feel inside of your body, inside of your nervous system, and not just say that you are available for the partner, but actually feel it
and become the
yourself.
invitation of that.
Exactly.
And then the man in front of you will mirror that.
Exactly.
But the first step, something really important that I want to mention, is that when you're listening to this, you may have like a repelling energy, or like a constriction, or like a contraction in your body, because your ego will try to protect you. So we invite you to actually stay open with your heart and your body, and take responsibility for the fact that yes, you created this lack reality with men, and take responsibility that yes, even if you've done 10 years of inner work, there's still deeper and deeper and deeper layers to be accessed, because we met women who are like, oh, all the men are the same, all the men want something from you. And then we told them, but this is your perspective, this is your reality. And they were like, no, I don't think so. Like men are good. Of course I think that men are they don't want to take anything from me.
Yeah, but when you're looking at the deeper layers of their mindset, like we can feel it inside of themselves that 20% of that is they don't believe that. And that 20% can affect your love life.
Exactly.
Like also, the more that you work on yourself, you have to become more of a master at discovering your shadows, because even that small 10 or 20% will affect how the outer reality comes at you, and like how men perceive you, so you have to be very, very subtle in your inner work, actually. And this is what is happening in our ceremonies. We go on a very subtle level to shift all of these beliefs. So let's begin with some of the beliefs that we have seen in women. Like you mentioned, all men are the same.
They just treat you like a queen because they want something from you.
Or they don't treat you like a queen,
Yeah.
and they want something out of you,
Yeah.
like the sexual part. And I used to hold this a
Me
lot.
too.
Yeah.
Like I just thought that all the men that I meet, they just want to have sex with me.
Yeah.
But it's because I grew up with a mentality in which I felt like I'm not valuable as I am, and I have to give my body first, and then the rest will follow.
Yeah, and I feel like we also had these experiences in our teenage years in which we never have had in our teenage year a healthy relationship, like, you know, like the one of those cute high school relationships. Like we never had that, so we only had like fuck boys, you know, in our lives, and like situationships and all of that. And that taught me over the course of those formative years, because even in the Jinkies it says from 14 to 21 you form your relationship with your sexuality and your emotional world. So thank you for teaching me that. And in those years, in my body and my nervous system, it was formed this energy of chasing, of I'm not good enough, of I need to always be sexual, or I need to prove something to the man so he can like me, so he can claim me. But in that process of actually coming into my own body and my sensuality, working with Tantra, working with sacred sexuality teachings and all of that, I could rewire that into power. And I understood actually how I need to feel inside of myself so that I can attract a healthy, conscious man. And then I started to see this on the outer reality. Like I started to attract my first very healthy partner, and he healed my body and my nervous system so much to feel like I can receive healthy love without needing to do anything. Like he would tell me things like, I'm here to serve you, queen. I would do anything for you, stuff like that, that, you know, even some of you may think that it's so rare to receive from a man, but this is the reality in which we are living right now.
Exactly.
After years of inner work.
Yes.
And this is what you need to be doing as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like feel yourself in your body as the dream woman that you are, and then also feel in your body the dream partner. And just know that we are genetically programmed to meet our perfect half in this life. So every other belief is just an illusion, it's just a distraction from your true purpose and mission that you are meant to be in a divine union. So I want you to feel these energies in your body, and when you will feel these energies, you will feel all of the blocks that are around it. Like Indra mentioned, all of these stories that you picked up from your teenage years, from your childhood, from your family and your parents, all of these will be felt in your nervous system. You will feel it as contraction, as pain, as closeness in your heart. And yeah, this is the work that we do together. Like we guide you into feeling these things, and especially as you said with the jinkies, when you're working with your genetics, with this system that we are working with, they bring to the surface the exact wounds and the root of everything that you are going through. And not only that, but they help you transmute them and they give you the solution to that. So in this process, you become someone new. Like you literally embody the dream woman that you are, and you attract the dream man that you are meant to be with. And dating is just like the process in between. You don't have to take it so seriously. You just have to look at it as like a karmic pool. Like it's just a karmic pool of meeting people, and you're just processing things, and you're seeing, I want more of this, and I don't want this, and I'm building my avatar in this way. Like it's just a game. And I feel like also this kind of playful energy can help you shift out of the heaviness of dating or finding the one.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because I feel like some women approach dating like it's a fucking job interview. Like they're so stiff in their bodies, they're so serious, so focused on what they need, instead of feeling like, what is God in the field wanting to give me in this moment? Like I used to be like that.
Please talk about your experience.
Yeah, I was so focused on finding the one. And also at a very young age, but you know, I've always wanted to find the one inside of my heart. But then I was met with so much disappointment because I was very hyper focused on this certain specific way of how I can find the one. So the first time I was celibate, it was good for me, but the second time, for 1 year, I started to follow these teachings that actually constricted me and imposed a rule on me of like, I should be pure, I should not open myself up to anybody else unless it's the one. And then I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and I think a lot of women are also in this waiting situation of like, it feels like you're just waiting for something to drop out of the sky, but you actually have to create that energy of love and intimacy in your own life. and then you get to share that with who comes in your field and you feel like it's worthy of that.
Yes.
Because when I started to open myself up more intimately and also sexually, not to everybody of course, but like to the men that I thought were good for me and I can receive something from them and they wanted to treat me right, you know, then I started to actually grow more in my power as a woman. And like Luxie said, you understand more of what you want and what you don't want through these, let's say, karmic connections. But karmic doesn't mean that it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just every connection is karmic actually.
Yeah.
So it's just like through the connections you learn so much more. And so this is one of the dating advice that I would also give to women, like just be more playful and be more fun, be more flirty, allow yourself to feel your sexual energy, because otherwise you will be drained as fuck.
Yeah.
Like you will feel so like life is stale, life is stagnant, and you don't know why you feel that until you get back on the sexual feeling train.
Yeah.
And that is when you realize, oh, I've been just very, very disconnected from my sexuality.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just feeling into everything that you said.
What's one other dating advice that you would give to women? Like a conscious woman that is on the path of finding the one, and what is your experience during, because maybe for you it's a bit different, like we have different flavors of our sexuality. So
yeah, you mentioned something there that you will open yourself up only to the man that you feel a connection with, and I want us to speak a little bit about this as a dating advice on how will you feel which is the right connection.
That's really good.
I am a Bumble and Tinder girly. I mean, I was a Tinder girly a lot.
Oh yeah, I haven't been on Tinder like for.
She's not so much on the. I mean, you are on the dating apps, but for me, the experiences are so different. Indra is meeting more men in real life, and for me, it's more about meeting men on Bumble. If you look at the experience in general,
guess,
right? Yeah. So I was dating a lot on Bumble, and I was like, really playing with this energy of like, who is the true connection, who is worthy of my text, who is worthy of my energy. And I can tell you from the beginning that your body and your intuition will tell you if that man is a connection or not. Like, it will feel like, even if I don't like this guy fully, even if I have questions around it, I still feel this pull that I need to meet him. It's like the conversation is flowing much more easily. You have fun, you're flirting, he's also mirroring you in different ways. Yet you feel like you're not necessarily matching. That is a karmic connection that needs to be experienced and consumed, because both of you agreed to come on earth and maybe date for 1 week, for 2 months. You can receive certain lessons and then you're going to the next one.
And that's a very good point. And I think I have like multiple streams of like thoughts, because that's something that a very intuitive woman and a woman that is connected to her body will feel instantly. But for the women who are not so connected to their bodies, and that's fine, because you're on their journey, you're here also listening this for a reason, to this for a reason. I think I'm joking. I don't want this to sound like I'm putting pressure or too salesy, but it's true. I think for those women, to just give them an advice would feel like to follow your excitement.
Exactly, follow your excitement.
That's easy. Like if a guy makes you feel excited, even if you don't make sense of it, if you feel like you can trust him, and if you feel like you're playful, young, childish self, like you can. That's also take some time to actually work on your own self to be like that playful self with a guy, and not feel like ashamed, and not feeling like you need to wear a mask, because in the past
that's what I felt as well.
That is what we used to do, and I feel like majority of women do that. And then when I hear somebody kind of like shocked about my process of connecting with men, I'm like, yeah, but that's the normal for me. Like I am instantly being very funny, quirky, or like,
But we work through layers of innocence and inadequacy to actually feel in our power, to show up in a text and be like, hey sexy.
Hey handsome.
This is how we are approaching men right now. Hey handsome, hey sexy, or hey cutie. Like, I'm literally feeling into their energy, and I'm like, how does he want to be called? Like, I like to play in this way. Or like, maybe I'm after a pleasure practice on my phone, and I'm like, I feel like so sexy in my Shakti energy, and I will invite this guy to also feel playful. And most of the men will say, hey, how are you, or hi gorgeous, or you're the sexy one, you're the cute one, and the one who responds in the way that you want, and the one that responds in the way
With the
that
same
turns you
energy,
on,
with the same
exactly,
energy, yeah.
then you have to continue with
Yeah,
him, because
yeah.
that's a connection.
Yeah.
And another piece of advice for the women who are not feeling so much from their body, I would say to do a test. Connect with your body through the breath, through a meditation, or just do a movement practice. Be in your body and then go on the phone. And when you're swiping or you're texting with someone, feel how everything is coming out of your body. Feel how you're receiving that person from this space energetically, not from the mind. Oh, he's cute. Oh, he has the same interest as me. No, like, don't come from this space. Come from the body.
Exactly.
Like, really take time to be slow, to open the space as if you are making a ritual out of dating. Because you may be swiping on the one. And you want it to be in a ritualistic way. And then do a test in which you're coming on the app or in your conversation from the mind, and see how different it is.
Yeah.
See how you are trying to please him.
Yeah.
You are a good girl. You're playing small. You're trying to text him in a way that is nourishing him, that is taking care of him, rather than you taking care of yourself and putting yourself first.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was feeling.
Yeah, and I see that usually women will be like extra texting. They will be like extra, how can I say, they will be more complex with their words, whereas men, they're very simple.
Yeah.
Like, what if you would just be also very simple with your words?
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to give so many explanations. You don't have to be there on the phone all the time to answer to him. You have to see yourself, as Indra said in one of her posts, as the prize.
Yeah, exactly. This was my main problem of the last clients that I had. Like, literally, they didn't see themselves as the prize, even if there were extremely successful women, extremely attractive, basically the perfect 10 out of 10. But inside of themselves, they couldn't see themselves as the prize. So they were latching on to breadcrumbs sometimes, or they were actually feeling like how the dream man is out there, and
it's separate from them.
It's separate from them, and also they have a lot of options, and they cannot be one of the options.
Yeah.
Or they don't see themselves as the only option.
Yes.
You
they
know?
Don't feel themselves chosen.
Exactly.
And this comes from years and years of programming of like not being chosen, not being the first one in school.
Always needing to strive more, to work more, to be recognized, especially in the eyes of your father.
Yes.
We dealt with it for like a long time, I feel like, you know.
Or if you had like boys around you who didn't choose you, or you had a lot of one night stands, or just dates that were very shitty, like all of these very small experiences, they don't seem traumatic for the adult in you, for the current version. But when you tune into your inner child in your body, you will feel your yoni and your heart so contracted, and you will walk around and say, why am I not attracting men? Like, there's no conscious man. And I feel like I want to connect here also with the perspective and the shift in mindset, because your perspective about life determines how life responds to you. You can either say, oh, there's no conscious man, there's no healthy man, as we did, because you did so much work, you're so powerful, you're an excellent woman, you know that you're so great on the inside, yet you are creating this reality of lack with men. So the first thing would be to just walk around and say, there's so many conscious men out there, there's so many healthy, beautiful men, and just start to see the qualities of the men in your life, the positive ones that you really like and appreciate.
And also to open to receive from these men, because again, I feel like one of the wounds that women have is that they are not actually open to receive. They think that they are, but inside of themselves, in their heart, you're still holding on to pain, suffering, anger, sadness from the past. So those feelings actually are making you unable to fully open and receive. But when you allow yourself to drop the misconceptions around men, all of these stories that we have been talking from the beginning of this podcast episode, when you allow yourself to like breathe into your heart and like come back into your softness, or you're doing more like pleasure practices and you're connecting to that feminine, and you start to trust more the masculine, you will see how in the outer reality men start to treat you differently. Every type of man, like even the taxi driver, even the man that is carrying your bags, even every man that you meet will start to see you differently, because you will radiate a certain magnetic frequency that allows you to receive, that allows men to feel like they can protect you. Like I've had these experiences in which 2 times in one day I was treated so nicely by just random men. Like the taxi driver was like waiting for me to see if I'm in the right place, and if not, he can take me in the good place. Or like there was a photographer that just held my hand, like my hair, so nicely while I was arranging it, and in a very like nurturing and safe way, you know. Like these little things, also when you start to open in your feminine, these will be signs that you are opening more to receive conscious men. You know, these are the gateways to that. But if you're constantly seeing men as a threat, even if you don't realize it, but in your body is a threat, you will be met with men who want to take advantage of you, who sexualize you, who, you know, don't see you as a woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, as an object.
Yeah, treat you less than you feel like you're worthy of.
Yeah,
this is really powerful.
This is one way to open.
Yeah, exactly. I was also feeling into another dating advice, and that is on how to be on the first date. Like, especially if you're a girly or a woman, a very ambitious leader woman who is like ready for marriage or ready for a long-term relationship, yet she's not so empowered into expressing that. She never expressed that. She's kind of waiting on the man to take the steps. She's waiting on the man to create the emotional safety and the space. And when we meet men, we naturally want them to be the best version of themselves and to ask us all of these questions that are so emotional and so deep. But that will happen probably only in 1% of the situations because he did so much work and he wants something serious and he feels the openness from you. But I feel like even with those men that ask me those questions, it's because I ask that and I began with that energy, because I wrote in my profile on Bumble that I'm searching for a life partner, for marriage, for a long-term relationship, and I'm being very clear with what I want from the very first date. But that was not the case before. Like, it took me from 18 until 27 to figure this out. 9
Almost
years.
10 years.
Yeah. So you, when you're working with us, it will happen naturally and instantly. It will not take you so many years. Like, you can literally find the one right now. Yeah, because we are collapsing time and space. I was working with this client of mine from Romania, and we worked for like what, 2 or 3 months, and now she's dating a guy that looks like a potential for marriage, and they're talking about like money, investments, about like marriage and really serious things that couples would talk about. Whereas before, she had only situationships. She was chasing. She felt like she needed to give her body, yet she was so constricted and shy in her sexuality. She felt herself so pure, but she was like, but I want to experience this. I want to feel more sexual, but how can I feel in this way? Because I also want to save my sexuality for the special one. Like, she really feels that inside of her.
And I had a very similar case, actually. Like, again, I was working with another woman from Romania for like 2 months, and in those 2 months she shifted so much in her confidence, in her sexuality, in her sensuality, that she attracted for the first time a man that really just wanted to please her. Like, physically, emotionally, and she never received that from any man. Like, she never had those type of like sexual amazing experiences. She was never seen, she was never chosen, she was always treated like the second choice, even if she's extremely beautiful and attractive.
Exactly.
And so you see how, like, in just 2 months, when you're working with these systems and the techniques that we are using of working with the body, of working with the energy, of working with the subconscious and identity and the nervous system, you shift in 2 months a lifetime of beliefs and of pain, like forever. Like, you will be thanking us on the day of your marriage.
Please invite us.
Please invite us. We want to be part of the love.
But I just want to say, for all of the grounded, practical women who feel attracted to this work, if you resonate with us, first of all, that's a sign that you're ready for this. And second of all, this is not like woo-woo mystical information, like crazy magical techniques. They are, but at the same time, it's very simple. You're just going in the body, you're feeling the emotions, you're crying, you're releasing, maybe sometimes you're laughing, you're feeling the pleasure of meeting the inner child, you're seeing her and you're letting her go. This is what the body is doing naturally anyway, but because we are so busy and we are so in our minds, we don't leave the energetic space for the body to do anyway, it's alchemical work. And this alchemy is literally the law behind your genetics. And on the other side of you processing all of your emotions in 1 hour, you become someone new.
Yeah.
You feel much more soft. You feel much more powerful. Because I feel like the biggest wound and the biggest leak of energy is women subconsciously putting their attention so much on the outside, being so distracted, not seeing their beauty, not seeing their power. When you go out into a restaurant or you're on a date, where is your attention? It's around. You're trying to make yourself feel safe. You're feeling him. You're feeling the table. You're feeling everyone around. Because this is your system that is trying to keep you in survival. But what if you enter a room with your attention and your power and your energy in your body, and you feel like every moment is making love to you? You are the prize. You are the creator of the restaurant. And you're sitting down and you feel how every moment is passing through you, and you're feeling pretty. You're feeling your emanation through the cheeks. You're seeing your lips. You're seeing how he's looking at you. You feel the attraction and the polarity between you. Like you're feeling first yourself pretty and beautiful, and then the rest will follow.
I mean, this is like the number one rule of Tantra and of polarity. Like the feminine means to be inward and the masculine is outward.
Yes.
So actually, the moment you start to place your attention on him, how he is seeing you, how he is thinking about you, how he is perceiving you, you kind of shift into a masculine energy of like,
Yes.
you know, instead of like feeling, like you said, from within and focusing on yourself and not even caring about how he feels about you.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Because
This
you're. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
We're so passionate about
Yeah,
this. Because you just feel so self-sourced. You feel as
Exactly.
if God is moving through you.
Exactly, and it takes like some work actually to feel so self-sourced. If, like we said in the past, you are always chasing and looking for
Yeah.
validation from the
Yeah.
person in front of you. So I think this is again one of the key things that you can do on a first date, on the
Yes.
first few days. Just like be inside of yourself, breathe through your body. Don't think about how he's feeling you, but see yourself as the prize, you know, see yourself as magnetic and beautiful, and start to lead a conversation from there. Like almost like think of it like he is already in, like he is already sold, you know, like he is just there to serve you in some way, and men will love that. Men want that out of you, actually want to be able to like chase you a little bit in that way.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're not trying to prove anything, you're not trying to convince, you don't have to get good grades, you don't have to go through an exam, there's nothing, you know, like it's already done. Like if you approach the connection and the situation from the space of it's already done. He's my potential partner. He's the one that I marry. Even though he's not the one that you marry, it's like a permission for you to show up as your most high, true, authentic self without pressure on him, without expectations, without fears, because you're already married.
Yeah.
And even if you're not, you're already married.
It's
a
true.
potential.
It's true.
So there's nothing to trying to seduce him in some crazy way. Like you can play with your seductive energy, of course, but you also need to understand your seductive flavor. Because as Indra mentioned in the beginning, she is more playful, more sexual in that way, and I'm more cute, I'm more quirky, I'm more graceful. So men, I know that they like my very funny laugh. For you, they like probably the way that you're looking at them, the way that you're speaking, the way that you're making them feel. For me, it's more a quirky way of being.
It's different for every woman. This is why you also need to understand your flavor of your feminine before. This is what we do in our work a lot.
We are helping you discover your essence. So you're focusing on that essence when you go out, and that essence not only attracts your dream partner, but it also attracts more opportunities because you're literally seducing life and money and everyone from around you. It will feel like a game that keeps on giving, and no one can take anything from you. Because as I said, there's no separation between you and him. And what does this even mean for some women that never tasted God or they have never been in the higher dimensions of light? This means that we're all living in oneness. There's no separation. We all live in unity. There's only one mind, only one source, and you are that.
Yeah. And I think that's like a very high consciousness thing. I think I want to translate it into like a practical thing of like in every connection that you feel is a potential one, I think you should open yourself fully. I'm not saying give your heart out in totality without any self-resourcefulness, but like act as if that connection can be your potential partner and open yourself out in emotional intimacy and
Yeah.
vulnerability in that way. Because I think for both of us, the gateway of like incredible connections were to be truthful with our feelings from the first time. Like, I'm not ashamed at all to tell a man, yeah, I really like you. There was this one time, I think a year ago, when there was this guy that I was like, could he be? I don't know if he is my potential partner. I don't know if he is my future partner, but I will just be my true authentic self and I will act as if he is. And just, I want to be my true authentic self and express my excitement for him. And I told him, I'm excited to see you, like before the first date. And he loved it. He was like, he opened his heart even more to me because I was authentic with my feelings, even if we didn't know each other, you know. But based on what you feel and you're expressing that, you open him up even more. Because I feel like some women expect emotional intimacy without giving anything.
Yes.
Like, girl, you gotta give something, you know?
Exactly,
So,
yeah. And you have to understand that also your giving is you being truthful and honest with your values, as you said, and speak about this from the very first date, so you don't waste your time, you don't waste his time, and then you're not creating expectations based on a potential that you see in him. So, for example, I went out with a guy recently, like a few days ago, on a date, and we had an amazing, clear communication up until that point, and we were just like chatting about what we want, that we want both a marriage and then we are ready for a family. So we were talking about these things already prior to us having the first date. And I feel like that's the most important subject that you can talk about, like your wishes and your desires and your dreams for a relationship, and not about how's the weather
wanted
or if
to
you
say,
go out
like,
or what are you eating, you know, like those are fine because you can be like superficial and deep,
yeah,
like you can
at the same time,
balance them, yeah, but it's very important for you to understand with what kind of intention you're going in the date. So I could see that us going in the date was a bit like not how I expected. Like I expected him to take me out on a luxurious dinner and to feel treated in a much more queen way. Whereas he was texting me the time, he was changing it, he was giving me a lot of details, wanted to take me on a walk to the beach, and I said my right ovary hurts and I cannot really walk, so can we please do something more cozy around? Then he texted me a cafe and asked me if that cafe is good. Then, you know, all of these processes, and I'm like, the woman doesn't have to think about the details. You are the man, you decide, and we surrender to your leadership.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, then you can express it after. Like, this is not aligned with my values. But let the man decide first and see how he is dealing with the process. Because in the same way, he will deal with a child and a family.
Of course.
He will be freaked out and he will be calling me 10 times in a day to understand that he's doing a right job.
Yeah.
So in the end, he picked me up. We're trying to go to the decided coffee shop. We couldn't find it. Then he put on maps where we should go. We went to another one that was like just a normal coffee shop around dinner time. So I was hungry and we were just deciding to get something to drink. So I didn't say anything, but I got a tea, you know, and he got a coffee at like 7 p.m. And then he brought me home. It was very cute, like very flirty, whatever. There was a lot of good communication and sexual chemistry. But then he said a lot of things about money that it made me think like he's not ready. Like he's not ready. I don't want a man who is not ready, you know. So after the date, I was like, yeah, I'm disappointed. Like I came home and I had dinner at 9:30. That's a bit disturbing to come from a date with a man that is powerful and he considers himself powerful and he's not treating me as he says, you know. So then eventually I sent him a voice message and I said, I live a very luxurious life. I want to be supported and I want to be provided by a man from day one, not a few months into dating, because this is what some men think, that you need to earn it, that maybe later I will support her. No, it begins with me now. And this is you setting your own rhythm and values and your boundaries and your worthiness, because you bring so much love, so much intimacy to the table, and this is a natural exchange. And a powerful man, he will not even question it. It will not even be a doubt. He will already consider giving you everything from the very first date.
Yeah, because he will know inside of himself that you are the one. Like with men that know what they want, it's easy. they see you, they feel it, it's easy, done.
Exactly.
You know, the men that wobble is because they're not sure of themselves. They don't know what they want. They're not powerful inside of themselves to be able to hold you.
Exactly.
So,
and I'm sure that after these interactions with us, conscious women, some of the men that we met will realize, oh, I'm actually not ready for a marriage.
Oh yeah.
Because she's so high value, and they know that this is how we are meant to be, and they feel like they're not worthy and less than.
Yeah.
So they cannot give us that.
Yeah.
And I also feel like this is a very powerful like secret trick for especially intuitive women to feel into your conversation in the way that he speaks and the tone and the words that he's saying. So for example, I enter in the car, we start speaking. I really like to receive words of affirmation, and I like to be told how beautiful and cute and how sexy I am and whatever. So I enter the car, he's like, in the conversation, he's like, no, you're actually cute.
Delete! Cancel! What do you mean you're actually cute, as if before I wasn't cute? Like,
he told me before that I'm pretty, and like he texted me, hey, gorgeous, when we started talking.
Yeah.
But that remark, I was like, you're telling to your wife that she's actually cute after you had a few moments of a conversation? Like, you're saying like, oh yeah, she could be a potential for me. Like, you know, I get a lot of things from this energy. Let me know if you are too in the comments.
Yeah. I think women should not ignore these signals, because we tend to ignore a lot of the signals just because we see the higher picture and like the potential of what he could turn into with a little work from your end. But you're not here to build a passion project, honey. You're here to get married, to have children. You're here for the real deal. And you want a man who's already there. You want a man who will bring you the flowers. You want a man who will say the words. You want a man who is ready to treat you like that. And I think through all of these things that we have given you today, to wrap this thing up, you know, like I mean, we could talk more, but like, let's, you know, we can do part 2. Let us know in the comments if you want part 2.
If you have any questions.
But through all of these things that we have given you, you are more clear on that path of attracting that type of guy. To be ready for that type of marriage, that type of family, that type of connection, you know? And even if you're in a relationship and you've watched this, you may receive a lot of codes about, a lot of insights about how to talk with your partner in a better way, how to understand him better. I think we could definitely do a part 2 of like how women and men relate, like the difference in that. Because so many times I've had so many experiences in which I was like, yeah, this is like the perfect example of not understanding how men relate and just making it about how I relate.
Exactly. And I feel like we met a lot of couples who are having these conversations only after 1 or 2 years. Like I meet a lot of girls who are like, oh my god, like you're like this from the first time. I'm like this after a few months, you know, like what we are doing and what we are giving you now as codes, as a new identity, is what will collapse the time and bring you whatever you want in the now. You don't have to wait, you don't have to go slow,
and you don't have to like do all of these things after 1 or 2 years and then you're wasting time if it doesn't work out. So this is the cheat sheet to your dream love life in a much more faster way. Amazing.
What would be one last insight that you would say, like, feel into the field?
I feel like I want to circle back around this queen energy, because again, I mean, this was a major part of my path, that I wasn't feeling myself as the queen in a relationship. So I wasn't receiving the treatment that I wanted from a man. I wasn't being treated like so nicely. I wasn't taken out. I wasn't given gifts. I wasn't, you know, being like so like yummy loved, you know. I wasn't, even if I wanted that. And it was because I wasn't seeing myself worthy of that. And I wasn't seeing myself worthy of that. So the moment that you shift that energy and you actually get into this queen of like, yes, I am worthy, and you feel it, and you cut all the bullshit, all of the, you know, wobbling around that, all of the limiting beliefs around that, that is when you will start to receive those type of elevated men, like elevated in consciousness, in your hearts, and also in your wallets, you know. So because we want all of that, let's face it. You just want to be like your juicy feminine energy, even if you're working, and even if you have a business, you want to feel that type of safety and security, and that comes with feeling that inside of yourself. So then you can attract the partner that will give that to you. Because I was all the time like anxious and chasing, and I was putting men too much on a pedestal. And when I shifted that like completely, you know, it took some time, but like I shifted that completely, that is when my love life completely changed. So I think that is again one thing to look into deeper.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is what we do in our mentorship container, the
Yeah.
Queen, for
Yeah.
6 months.
Ex-
We invite you to take a look. This is a very advanced space for the ambitious leader who already built everything that she desires, but she feels like she's lacking love. She feels like money is so easy to reach, is so easy to make, but love seems so far out there.
Yeah, yeah, and she wants to just feel more in her feminine, like without fear that she will lose everything that she has.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another thing we can talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there one last advice that you want to give?
No, I feel like it was perfect.
It was complete.
Yeah.
And there you have it, our collaboration between the Love Seat and the Shakti Awakener podcast. As always, we thank you so much for being with us. We invite you to connect with us on our Instagrams, which we will leave in the description below. We invite you to leave your thoughts about how this episode activated you. You can leave it here or you can DM us separately.
We would love to get into a conversation.
We
with
would love to have a conversation. We would love to have you in our private communities. And obviously, if you resonated with us and you're ready to go deeper into one-on-one work, we both have our separate mentorships.
Yes.
Mine focused on Tantra, feminine, sexuality, intimacy, so on.
My mentorship containers are focused on doing the emotional work with your inner child and understanding your very deep subconscious beliefs that are blocking you from just being much more open and loving and authentic. So that will affect your relationships or your business. And yeah, we can work in different ways in different areas of life. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like we just work in life in general.
Yeah.
You're more focused on sexuality and embodiment, and I feel like I'm more life in general.
Yeah. We both have our own flavors, and also together is a very nice mix to have. Like to have us both as your mentors, I feel like that will be like the biggest catalyst of like your life, like ever. And for 6 months, it's a steal, to be honest.